Hey, Art. Sorry about that. Running late.
Hello.
Well, hello.
Hi
How are you
there.
doing today?
Just fine. Yourself?
I'm doing okay. Running late, obviously. Apologies.
So, are you on site or not on site or?
Yeah, I'm at the library, but I'm here alone.
Oh,
Nobody
okay.
else is here. Traffic around Cincinnati right now is not good.
What's the problem?
Just it's close to a holiday, and there's rumors that it might snow.
Okay.
Just Cincinnati in general.
Are you at Center Point or someplace else?
Midpoint. Yeah.
Midpoint, yes. So, okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, Barbara was out a little while ago, doing some banking and grocery shopping and so forth and so on. She said it was getting really cold, but the snow was just a few flakes here and there and so forth and so on. But she said it was getting really, really cold. So
I mean, it's like 31.
meaning like that she was born in Southern California. Okay. It's all a matter of perspective. Yeah, the if you're from warmer climes, it takes a little bit getting used to.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I was born in Columbus, Ohio, so this is
Yeah,
normal for me, but for somebody who's and we've spent our last 45 years in Northern California where it gets cool, but it doesn't get cold like here.
yeah,
So,
yeah. I've lived all over the place, um, playing with stuff. I I lived in San Clemente, California. That was fun, interesting. Um, Lived in Ojai for a while.
lived in where?
Ojai, California.
Okay, I don't know where that is.
Um, 80-ish miles north of LA, just middle
Oh,
of the coast.
oh, so up around Santa Barbara, that area?
Um, yeah, that was fairly close.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't. We lived our whole California, my whole California stint in the San Francisco Bay Area. So she was born in Southern California, which is I don't know, down around Movie Land, wherever that is.
Far more crowded.
Well, I don't know. The Bay Area is getting pretty crowded too these days,
Yeah.
but Southern California, you're right. Is I mean, her father was in the entertainment business, so that was obviously the place for her to be born.
San Clemente was just south of Hollywoodland. Um, it was interesting. It was the weirdest thing to me was the number of snails. If you went
Yeah,
for a walk at 2 o'clock in the morning, the sidewalk just crunched. There were
yeah,
snails everywhere, big ones too. I mean, like the escargot size ones, about
Yeah, yeah,
2 inches in diameter.
yeah. We had a lot of them in the Bay Area.
Yeah,
Depending on the immediate environment, they like to be in the ivy and in those areas, but they mostly came out at night. You didn't see too many of them in the daytime, and we didn't have in Ohio. I don't think we had any except occasional. In the middle of summer, you'd have little tiny snails.
yeah,
You have snails and you have slugs. Well,
yeah,
a slug is a snail without a shell. So,
yeah. And we get some decent sized slugs around here too.
oh, like the banana slugs at
Yep.
Santa Cruz. Let's see. I think that's their mascot or whatever it is, banana slugs. And those are good, those are good size. There's no question about that. Of
Yeah, I've
course,
seen quite a few that are 4 inches long, some a
yeah.
little bigger. And as a kid, I remember salting them. So,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's kind of like chasing ants with a magnifying glass.
yeah, did that too.
I think it's a matter of what evil is available to you. Yeah. So,
I
well,
remember.
as a kid, you lived in Ohio, though, right?
Yeah, born and raised here in Cincinnati, and then traveled a lot. After I got out of the army, I wanted to see the country. So, been to every state except Hawaii at this point.
After Alaska,
Yep, lived there for 4.5 months.
hopefully they were the summer months.
Um, got there in the summer, left in early winter.
Okay.
There isn't much of a fall. It's just you wake up one day and all the mosquitoes are gone and there's 2.5 feet of snow.
Okay.
But there are a surprising number of mosquitoes in Alaska, little tiny ones that you can inhale. Ugh.
Well, you got a lot of those in Canada too.
Yep.
So, yeah, I've never been to Alaska. I've been most other states for what I consider the continental states. Okay,
Mhm.
I've been to most of those, and some portions of Canada, both east and western. But I've never been to Mexico, so
Really?
which which
Best steak I ever had, I got in Mexico City.
oh
Just
really?
just absolutely amazing. Yeah. There's a few people. Holy cow.
Yeah, there's population density there is pretty
It's like LA.
yeah. I remember the first time I was in the LA area, um, it was before they had really clamped down on air quality. And I remember uh, I had a flight out there. I was going for an interview. I had a flight out there. And for some reason, I don't know whether it was air quality or whatever, we got diverted and ended up, rather than landing in LAX, we landed in, I don't know, Burbank or one of the smaller airports. And then so they diverted us to there. So then to get us to where we're supposed to going, they put us on a bus
Ooh,
and drove us to the other airport. And I remember my eyes were just tearing. I mean, they were really, really hurting. My dad, who had a lot of sponsors in Southern California, said, "Oh yeah, so that's to be expected. You go out there, you want to take your eye drops with you and so forth." But in the last, that was, let me think, that was in the '60s at some point.
Oh, okay.
And since then, the air quality has been improved radically. Mostly, I think by clamping down on the exhaust emission stuff on automobiles. But uh,
First time I flew into LA was 82, maybe
okay,
83. And even then, I remember flying in and they circled. So there's LA off to the side, and there was just this big brown bubble over it.
yeah.
They hadn't finished cleaning up the air yet. I hope now it's better than that.
Well, I've got a brother-in-law and family that are in the Orange County area, and we go down there. Well, we did go down there occasionally, weddings, funerals, etc., all the holidays. And certainly the air quality is not as noticeably bad as it was when I was there probably in '64 or something like that. And it was it was pretty grisly.
I moved from California directly to Wisconsin, Baraboo, Wisconsin, in the winter. So I
I was
left
just,
72 degrees. And when I got to Baraboo, it was probably minus 10.
oh boy.
Yeah.
So what was the attraction in Baraboo?
I had a friend that lived there that said, "Hey, come on over." And okay. And I went there and ended up staying for, I don't know, 2.5, 3 months. I was renting a little house up there. It was a stone house next to the what, Green River, Middle River. I forget. I was right in the middle of the state. I think it was the Green River. And it was just absolutely ice cold, but heat was furnished with the house. And they didn't care where you set it. And I had that house cranked up to probably 80 degrees. It was neat. It was a amazingly inexpensive place to live. Um, I had 5 acres. I had a 6-car garage. I had 2 acres of blackberries, and it was $200 a month.
Okay.
I was working at a library that was, I don't know, 600 feet away from my front door in a town with a population of about 400.
A large library? Oh,
Um, no, I'd say it was 1,200 square feet, maybe
oh,
15.
okay.
There were a lot of little tiny homes and houses and companies and all sorts of stuff in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Worked on a cheese farm for a while. That was interesting.
Okay. They do
Make
have
Colby
some,
cheese in Colby, Wisconsin.
yeah, I like Colby cheese, as a matter of fact. I we have some neighbors across the street that are originally from Wisconsin, and periodically when they go up there to see family and so forth, they'll bring me back a little bag of cheese curds.
Yep.
And those things are delicious, I gotta tell you, or at least if you're into cheese, they're delicious. And so, but she's originally from Wisconsin, and he originally is from, I think, Venezuela or Ecuador, one of those, uh, I don't know what the polite term for banana republics is, but at any rate, so, yeah. I have been to Wisconsin once, I think. A friend of mine was had a job or had an assignment in Ripon, Wisconsin. Hey, Leroy,
Hello.
where are you at?
I am in a very noisy spot and we're getting ready to go into the concert. So I just figured I'd come in and say howdy.
I hope you weren't sitting in the lobby too long. If you were, I apologize.
No, pretty much just now,
Cool.
but we're
What,
over, we're in Fairfield, Fairborn, not Fairfield, Fairborn. And we just finished getting our dinner and we're heading up to the high school now to see their concert. So, but I figured while I was here waiting for Patty to come out, I would stop in.
I
But it's
appreciate it.
extremely noisy where I'm at. So,
so what kind of concert is it?
um, junior high is this is their seasonal concert. Um, so the one that had the concert last year, she's more intermediate now, and they're adding CJ. He just got to junior high, or yeah, he just got to junior high. So he is going to be playing the tuba.
Okay.
So they're in he's in the beginner band and she and Carolyn is in the intermediate band now. But it's basically a Christmas concert. You know, they show off what they've learned and play Christmas music, and everybody has a good time.
Okay. Sounds
Well,
good.
like I said, I'm not really staying. I just popped in to say howdy. So
Okay. Well, nice to see you. So
yeah,
this is a concert band, not a marching band.
right. It's actually several. Like I said, he's in the beginner band and she's in the intermediate, and then they've got um a more senior band, but it's not really a senior band. So there's really three different concerts or three different groups. So it's an interesting show. Or it was last year. But I see Patty, so that means I gotta go.
Sayonara.
Thanks for stopping in.
So
Yeah.
that was quick, but you know, I'll see you guys later. If I can figure out how to get out of here. I can't figure out how to stop. There it is. Ah, no,
That wasn't it.
that wasn't it. Bye.
You, you're still here. So basically, that was the reason he's not here tonight, is that
Yep.
it was preempted by a family uh, event.
Yeah, grandkids tend to do that.
Are these grandkids or kids? I guess they're grandkids, right?
Grandkids.
Yeah. So, yeah, my years of going to parent entertainment events are behind me. So, yeah, they went through that with two different daughters, 13 years apart. So I got the full course both times, so to speak. But
Yeah. Terrible twos and terrible 15s side by side. That was
oh,
rough.
well, yeah, yeah. It was, I survived them both. So, and, yeah, the older one is now 57. Yeah, 57. The younger one is 44. So, and no grandchildren.
Oh,
So the only grandchild I have is a step grandchild, is stepdaughter's daughter. But at any rate, well, the seasons they pass.
yeah.
And, in hindsight, they're kind of pleasant. They weren't always pleasant during the activities. Uh, oh, Mike, Mike,
Yep.
Mike.
Hello.
Hey, Mike,
Hi.
how come you got a yellow cast? I mean, the whole room has a yellow cast.
I'm not certain. I think it may be the incandescent lighting.
Are you sitting on a horde of old incandescent bulbs?
Um, we went, we're dumpster divers. Nobody knows this. It's a
Yeah,
top secret. Only
yeah.
half the world is aware of the fact. And so I look in the dumpster, and these people, whoever they were, threw out a 50-gallon trash bag full of new light bulbs. It's like, what? So there's spherical, there's candelabra base, little ones for chandeliers and stuff. There's LEDs, there's compact fluorescents, the regular three-way bulbs, and they had thrown away a converter from a mongoloid base, which is common on some floor lamps, to a regular standard base. And it's like, well, I don't have any idea why I need 10 lifetimes of light bulbs, but if I put them in the truck and take them home and I use one of them, that's worth the effort. And by the time I got them out of the truck, the load had shifted around several times. So there were, as the old song went, there were fewer in there this time than there were to begin with.
Okay.
Um, So Let me turn on a different light and see whether that helps. I don't think it helps much.
Yeah, I
Okay.
don't see much change.
I didn't see any either, but I think all the lights in this room are LEDs. There are two in the ceiling fixture and one in the uh, desk lamp here. Now that changed the tone quite a bit.
Hmm.
Yep. The ceiling fan lamps were the ones that were causing the problem. And I I think those are all LEDs, but I'm not sure of the color temperature.
Okay. So how's Mike?
So again,
How's Mike?
uh, Mike is in the middle of December. He's cold. He's been cold since he had external beam radiotherapy 3 years ago. And the fact that it's cold weather doesn't help.
What is external beam radiotherapy?
I had prostate cancer and I had to undergo radiation therapy. And they do it from the outside, and they use a machine that spins around different directions, and haven't had any problems since then.
So what's the radiation? Is it electromagnetic radiation?
Oh
Is
yeah,
it
yeah, it's ionizing radiation, um, and I'm not certain whether it is from nuclear material or whether it is generated from an X-ray tube.
okay?
I suspect because of the um, amount coming out that it was from a nuclear source.
Hmm.
I did the calculations. This was quite some time ago, and I think I got 160 times what would be acceptable from an occupational exposure standpoint. But it wasn't a big deal. The only thing that was funny is the table goes up and down, and it's very smooth. So they give me this little stool to get up on the table, and I don't need that. You know, the table's no higher than our antique brass bed, so I just walk over and hop up on it. And they've got a paper mache mold to hold my feet into place. They put tattoos on me to make the alignment set up, and they have a holder for my head. And so they get everything lined up, and they say, "Okay, stay real still." Well, it's like I couldn't go anywhere anyway. And they start, it takes about, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes. And they say, "All right, you're done." And so I'm ready to swing my feet over the edge of the table and hop off. And this nice young uh, lady that's a technician says, "Oh, wait." And I look over at her and I'm looking eye to eye. The table has gone up about 2.5 feet from where I hopped up onto it. If I'd thrown my feet over the edge of the table and hopped down, I would have had a 5 foot drop at least. So I waited for them to put it down after that.
So do they just irradiate you in the prostate area or the whole body?
Uh, it's a very sophisticated thing. They look at the shape of the tumor and the uh, organs that are in the way. If you visualize it being seen from an entire sphere. And from every point on that surface of that imaginary sphere, they say, okay, that's going to go through the liver, and we want to limit the amount of radiation the liver absorbs to this amount. So at that period, when the source is going through your liver, we're going to bottle it down to where it's only this much radiation per time. The intensity changes. And then as it comes over here and says, okay, we're going to go through the back. The whole thing is modulated so that they know how much radiation you're getting that day and through what organs it's going to go. And because I have Crohn's disease, I was having a little trouble with intestinal problems. And so I went into the radiologist and said, this is the problem I'm having. And they just tweaked it just a little bit. And I didn't have any problems from then out. But it was 40 sessions.
They did this same thing 40 different times?
I couldn't hear.
They did the same procedure 40 different times?
Yeah, 40 different days. Didn't do holidays and didn't do Saturdays and Sundays, but yeah, it was a number of trips out there. It was during COVID, so I got out my fitted half-face piece respirator with ultra high efficiency cartridges, and they looked at me like I was goofy. But if I'm going to wear a mask, I may as well make it as effective as I can get it. So, my PSA before we began the external beam radiotherapy was 32 and a half.
Wow.
Yeah, people get real excited when it's above 4.
Yeah.
So, since then, it's been like 0.1 or 0.01. Every time the PSA is done, they have a little note that says, don't compare this to what you had last time because the methodology has changed. Well, I don't have to worry about, is it actually 0.01 or 0.0121. It's down there where it doesn't, it's so damn low, nobody cares. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
And so the oncologist is just looking at the trend line, and if there's a little noise down there, he doesn't care. He's not wanting one of those. So Julie was more upset than I was. I had indicated I would like to have a digital rectal exam, and the primary care physician went through the list of criteria and said, well, you really don't need it. And I said, well, I'd like to have it. And about 30 seconds into the exam, she said, oh. And pretty much immediately, we started doing biopsies. It was a rather aggressive. They have what's called a Gleason score, and mine was in the 8 range, which I was just very, very happy that I had really insisted that we do the exam because it would not have been found otherwise. And because of the aggressive nature of the cancer, I think I would have been metastasized before I would have had noticed any effects. I didn't notice anything. I had no pain, no discomfort, no changes in a urine stream or anything like that. So it had been 11 years, and I just thought 11 years between exams was a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that was, I don't know. I had a couple of events going on. I had a stroke at that time, and I had prostate cancer. And it isn't anything I focus on. I think it was one of them was 3 years ago, and the other one was 4 years ago.
So no recurrence since then?
No, the PSA has indicated there's nothing. Um, an attorney I worked with through AK had been battling prostate cancer, and he died about a month before I asked for the exam. And a friend of mine from undergraduate school had become a doctor of veterinary medicine, and he ended up going in for surgery. And his results were not good, but those two of those in my mind prompted me uh, to ask about it.
Mm-hmm. Well, buona fortuna. Buona fortuna. Good luck.
Oh, thank you. It's one of those things that if it happens, it happens, and there's nothing I can do about it, and I'm not going to worry about it.
Yeah.
I have a coat that leather coat that I'm sure you've seen. Steve has seen it, I know. It had been sitting out in the rain and out for the trash, and I picked it up, took it home, hung it on a wooden hanger, and let it dry it out in the garage for a couple of months, and got all the odor out of it, stiffness and stuff. My daughter and I were going to make it into a World War II bomber jacket with a design on the back. And we sat down at the computers, started going through images, and ran across one that was really pretty cool. It was in Arabic, and it was maktub. And that's roughly translated means it is written.
Mm-hmm.
So if you ever followed Lawrence of Arabia, he's the movie. Peter O'Toole is the actor, and they're getting ready to cross a particularly nasty stretch of desert called the Furnace. And they say, well, not too many people can cross that. And the commentary is that's true. But there are a lot of people who will follow people who have crossed the furnace.
Okay.
And so they hop on the camels and go through the furnace and emerge on the other side. And when they look around, one of the party is missing. So Peter O'Toole, the Lawrence of Arabia character, says, I'm going back. They said, you're a damn fool. You know, nobody makes it across there once. I'm going back. So he does. And he finds the guy that has fallen off his camel, and the two of them emerge again, both safe. And the tribe say it's a miracle. It's absolutely a miracle that you survived once and you went back in, got him, and the two of you survived the second time. So later on in the session, there is a murder. And one tribe has a member that has been killed by a different tribe member. And so they're all packing up and getting ready to go. And he says, why? He says, well, the punishment according to law is for him to be executed, but we're not going to execute a member of our own tribe. And if the other tribe whose member was murdered do it, then between the tribes there's rivalry, and it won't succeed. So Lawrence says, well, would it be okay if I executed him? They said, oh yeah, it'd be fine. It'll satisfy the law and the requirements. Both tribes will be fine. So he says, okay. So he says, take me to the guy. And so in the movie, their crowd is parting and they're going to find this guy. And the crowd opens up, and who is the murderer? It is the guy he has rescued from the desert.
Okay.
And the tribe says, ah, it was always written. You saved him, but now you're going to take the life back. So Lawrence kills the guy, and they go on and conquer the area that they were looking at. And it is written means that the conclusion was known ahead of time as to what was going to happen. The funny part, if you can consider this funny, Lawrence is telling his superiors in the British Army he was really troubled by executing this guy. And they said, well, we can understand that. You saved this guy from the desert, and he was kind of a friend to you, and you would be bothered by having to execute him. Because no, I was bothered because I enjoyed it. So, yeah. I follow the philosophy, and it's written on the back of my coat. Maktub, it is written. Nothing I'm not going to do anything stupid like going out and running back and forth and doing tap dancing or skateboarding on I-75, but much of what happens in the future is beyond my control.
I remember the movie.
Do you remember that particular scene?
I don't remember that scene, but let's face it, I saw that movie when it was a new movie, and I think it came out in the late 50s, didn't it?
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, that rings a bell. I remember Peter O'Toole in all of his glory.
When I tell people about the movie, it's spectacular scenery, got great actors. Let's see, there's Peter O'Toole, there's Alec Guinness,
Yep.
there's Omar Sharif, and then I go on to say, but there's not a single woman in the entire movie, and they're shocked by it.
I'm trying to, I'll have to go dig up the movie and watch it again. It's no doubt available in some archive someplace or another. But that was in days of real movies and real film, and you know, none of this digital stuff that we have today.
I don't think anything was AI generated.
No, I'm pretty sure it wasn't. No, it was Peter O'Toole. I remember quite well. Omar Sharif, I remember. Peter O'Toole was spindly thin, and yeah, the long ago and far away.
Yeah.
I'll have to look that up. The name of the movie was Lawrence of Arabia.
Lawrence Olivia. And I think it's available maybe on YouTube. I've seen it come up.
It may be. I'll go look for it. It is, but I think pretty sure it was in the 50s. Could have been in the 60s, but certainly no later than that. I think Peter O'Toole only died, what, in the 90s sometime?
Mhm.
And um, I don't know about Omar Sharif, but yeah, who was the guy who was the bastard? Um, Literally, Alec Guinness.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all gone now. I mean, but we went through a period with my first wife and my oldest daughter where our entertainment was drive-in movies. So the deal was this. We would put a cardboard baby carriage in the back of my 66 Mustang, toss my daughter in there, and take off to the drive-in movies. And usually the scenario was pretty straightforward. My daughter, who at that time was probably 2, 3 years old, something like that, would in short order get bored and flake out. And so my wife would sit and I would sit there and we'd watch the movie. So it was and it was relatively cheap because you got through for the single car price, and it wasn't like going in the theater, and you didn't have to deal with a young person being upset and so forth and so on, and making a lot of noise and causing a problem because you're in your own car, and all you had to do was just, you know, feed her popcorn and candy, and pretty soon she'd flake out, and that was that. But it was a relatively
Yeah.
convenient.
A big heavy cast aluminum speaker hanging on the
Oh
window.
yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. I don't know. Do they even have those anymore? Do they have drive-in movies anymore? I don't know.
They do. There's one between Hamilton and Oxford, the Starlight. Um, I was there 3 months ago or so.
Oh, is outside with the big screen
Yep.
arrangement and
Yeah.
so forth?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I thought I thought they were all relegated to Sunday swapping shops.
Yeah, the ones in California are like that. They have these what people refer to as flea markets, but you basically for a fixed price you drive your truck in and set up your tables and so forth and so on. But I didn't know any of them were still active as movie theaters. So I remember them well. They were very popular in the 50s and the 60s. somewhat into the 70s.
Well, I've just pulled this movie up. It's 1962.
62, okay. That makes
Almost
sense.
63. It was released December 10th.
Okay. 60s, okay, early 60s. So I was in undergraduate school then.
We were talking about Lawrence of Arabia.
62. Yeah, well, that's about right. That would we would also, with the drive-in movies, somehow or another, we got early releases, meaning that they would, as I recall, they would show up a few days before they showed up in the regular theaters. I may have that confused. I don't know. Long time ago, over 60 years. Yep, a long time ago.
Oh,
Once,
also had Anthony Quinn in there.
oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I remember his character. They they take a fortified city from the rear because nobody thinks that they're going to be able to cross the desert and attack it that way. And the Anthony Quinn character complains that there's no gold. And Lawrence says, well, you didn't come to the city because of gold. You came here because you said you wanted to,
Okay.
because it pleased you.
Anthony Quinn.
So along the same line, he goes back to his British superiors and they say, well, you weren't authorized to take that city. He says, that's true. Would you like for me to give it back?
Okay. So all those people are gone now. Peter O'Toole,
Yeah.
Anthony Quinn, Omar Sharif.
Jack Harris, Anthony Quinn, Omar Sharif, and Anthony Quayle, Claude Rains, Jose Ferrer, and Arthur Kennedy.
I don't know Arthur Kennedy.
I don't recognize that person.
At any rate, well, those were the days. Now you can go on YouTube and see any of that stuff. A lot of it has been heavily edited, though, because what was acceptable for entertainment in 1950 would be considered at best in poor taste today.
Yeah.
So what's up, Vicente? What projects are you working on here?
Now, trying to keep my home warm.
Your what?
My home warm. You know,
Oh,
I bought
warm.
I bought an infrared camera to check the windows.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
So you're checking for
from,
thermal
from,
leaks.
from China. Let
How
me show
well?
you. So you
how-
can check the border of the windows.
Yeah.
I bought some special tape to seal some with the infrared camera. You can check the temperature of any point. So I place this special tape or masking tape in the windows to fix the problem, and I think I already paid for this. Just
Oh, really?
yeah.
So you had some serious leaks, window leaks.
No, I have too many windows, too many. So no serious, but a lot, you know. So
What's the field of view on that particular camera?
what the angle?
Yes.
Well, you can check. You can check how I. You see more or less.
Looks like about 30 degrees.
Probably less than that.
No, maybe something like that. Yeah. Yeah, that's correct. I guess it's 30 degrees. I don't know if you can see. It tells you the maximum, minimum, and the temperature of the point in the center.
Okay.
So you can point anywhere, and you see what's the coldest spot, and check with your finger or whatever if there is air moving through this window. And I found serious spots in the house, and I solved them. So I think this thing cost like 90 bucks from China. I love it. It's really, really nice.
So you can also check if you got spots in your walls where you.
Yeah, in the walls you can see the air ducts in the inside the door, inside the walls, because you see the change in temperature of the panels inside the walls.
So you can also tell where maybe the insulation is
Yeah, where
thinner
is
or
it?
whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
So have you
Usually,
both outside and inside with the camera?
yes, I went outside also to see hot spots from outside, to check that warm air is getting out,
Yeah.
and it's really nice. I like it. I solve all the problems now. The coldest points used to be in the middle of the window in the glass, that because glass is not is there actually are two glasses with vacuum inside
Yeah. Yeah.
or some
Yeah.
kind of gas.
Double glazed
Yeah,
windows. Yeah.
but still you have some cold point. Now I have this in degrees, but this is
Matthias,
something.
Matthias Wandel, Wood Gears, he's out of Canada, had an episode on his site where he was looking with a thermal camera at the components inside his oscilloscope.
Mhm. Yeah, you can do that.
And he was able to go through and say, oh, well, I think that this heat shield should be closer to this. And here's the foam conductivity to take the heat away.
Yeah. You
He's
can use it to repair computers also, to look for strange behavior in the motherboard. If something is unusual hot, maybe something is wrong in this area or whatever. People use this to troubleshoot problems in the equipments. But in electrical distribution centers, you can find false or weak contacts in electrical contacts because the temperature used to go up in the place you connect the cable because some kind of dust or weak pressure in your screws or whatever. So I think it's very useful.
What is the range from top to bottom temperature? I mean, does it go to 200 or 500 or 1,000?
I don't
What's
know. Usually you have an image, and it tells in this image which is the hottest spot, the coldest spot, and my range. I have the degrees here, but my range maybe 20 degrees, depending on what are you pointing at. You pointing something warm or hot? I don't know, maybe more.
Some of
Boy,
them vary the range according to
Look, this is a circuit, for example. I don't know if you can see, but my hand is warmer than the board itself. Okay, but this is it's hard to see the colors in the camera. There are no. It's like some kind of blues, but I see reds, yellow, green, all the spectrum. But the camera doesn't show it right. I don't know why.
is it sufficiently sensitive so that you can point it, say, at a human body, face, or whatever, and look for
Yes.
hot spots and cold spots?
Yes. I used to point to my dog, and you see the nose, the colder spot,
Yeah,
and the eyes are the hotter spot, and that's interesting.
interesting. Oh,
But this is one of my things. The other one is I am using ChatGPT to design stuff, to make software, so I can. I am I was amazing today because I was planning to spend 2 weeks doing something, and with ChatGPT, I did it in 10 minutes exactly. In 10 minutes, he solved all the problems instantly. And you can ask specific questions to solve or to adjust the software, and works perfectly. I am impressed. I'm impressed with ChatGPT. GPT creating it can solve hardware level problems very fast. It uses a lot of, instead of you are browsing manuals and figure out what register or whatever you want to do with a microcontroller, ChatGPT instantly explain to you what to do and show you a sample of the code you want to use, and it works. I tried copy, paste, and works. And I am not subscribed to ChatGPT. I just using the free version in the web, but it's impressive, absolutely impressive. I did this thing this afternoon. This is an Arduino Pro Micro. I don't know if you can see Pro Micro. And with ChatGPT, I made a program to read 2 encoders simultaneously at maximum speed using direct register control and interruptions. And it's amazing. It's amazing how it works. Very compact, very, very nice. I analyze the code, and when I find something that I don't understand, I can ask what this line means, and ChatGPT explain everything in detail, why this line of code is in this way. So you do your homework, you learn a lot and very fast. I'm impressed. Instead of spend time coding, you will spend time thinking what you really want to do. This is a completely change in the way of do things, you know?
So if you point this at a motherboard on your computer, on any computer, you can basically look for hotspots
Uh-huh.
where for whatever reason it's being a hotspot. So for example, you could take the heat sinks off of various components and see where they're really useful, the heat sinks are useful, and where they're not.
Yeah. Well, sometimes you can find cold spots where supposedly they will be hot, you know? You have a power supply and you check your power supply and you see a blue area that supposedly must be warm. That means that there is an open circuit somewhere, so something is full. You can use it in different ways. This thing is very cheap because the resolution is 100 something, but you can pay 3 times more with a high resolution camera to identify tiny surface mount components or whatever. So,
Do you know what the
but
resolution on that camera is?
I can check. Let me check. It's very.
I've been considering getting one of the little ones that you plug into the bottom of your phone.
I always wondered about that.
Yeah, but this is cheaper. The ones for the phone has been better resolution than this one. Let me check. I need to check in AliExpress because I bought this in AliExpress. I will show you my orders. Okay, here is it. Okay, I can share the screen if you want.
Sure.
There it is. 240 by 240.
So pretty low resolution, actually.
Yeah. But for me, very useful for the house. And
Yeah.
Yeah, for what you're using it for, it's probably perfectly adequate. So,
let me show the different picture, high definition, 4-second view, high. Well, this is the temperature range from -20 to 550.
okay.
This is in degrees, you know.
Yep.
Uh,
That's degree C. Okay.
field of view 50 degrees by 50 degrees. You see?
Okay.
Oh, there's a field of view, 50 degrees.
Yeah. You can see electrical power distributions. There is a video here.
Mm.
A number of years ago, Julie and I went to a child's museum, and they had an infrared camera running all the time. You could sit on the bench and it would display uh, the false color images. So we sat down there and got a printout of it. But the part that was funny is we'd sat on the bench long enough that we warmed the bench. And so when we got up, the camera was still on, and we got a thermal image of our butts on the bench. It was very revealing what parts were warm.
Yeah, incredible. So you can check if someone was there when you go into a room. If you see in the chairs some warm spots or whatever. Another thing, I bought this USB isolator. You have a 1500 volts isolation between one side and the other one. I bought this to control I am planning to work with the hoverboard motors with very high current impulses in my bench to test the motors. So I want to isolate the computer from the microcontroller, you know? So I bought this. This is 14 bucks in Amazon. The limitation is that you have a DC-DC power supply that only feed 200 milliamps on this side of the connector. So you can control an Arduino, but nothing else, you know. This is an
But you
Arduino
could
Nano.
plug it into a powered hub.
The Arduino, yes. You can power. No, the problem is that the power doesn't cross your USB adapter, you know.
Right. But if
But
you
you can
plug,
power your stuff with another power supply.
I mean, you could plug it into a small powered USB hub and then get out whatever power you need.
Yeah, that's right. The Olimex also have this. This is a very old one, but I think it's almost the same thing. USB 2.0. They made this device in thermo shrink package, you know, but they have the USB connector, and you have a power adapter to fit your design. The other side is the old fashioned USB
B.
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 So
And is that the same thing?
it's the same thing that the new one,
Cool.
you know. I also bought this other isolator. This is I can control isolator for USB. So it also includes the CAN controller in the box, but it's also an isolator because some motor controller boards use CAN protocol. And today I have a new power supply for my motor for the bench. This is a 16 amps, 36 volts. I have it open because was frozen in the porch in the front door. we are under 32 degrees. So was hard to touch. And that's it. Another interesting thing, I was playing with the ESP32 to produce a ASK modulation in 433 megahertz in software, and it works. So I can transmit in using the 13 harmonic of the pin of the microcontroller. You can transmit in 433 megahertz, but in short distances, but without any transmitter, just a cable in your breadboard. I think I sent Leroy just a second. Here, let me show this share. This is the ESP32, and this is the antenna in a pin of the ESP32, transmitting to an Arduino with the ASK receiver, and I'm modulating the signal with 1 kilohertz, and I am checking in the oscilloscope the 1 kilohertz signal arriving to this board. You see? So you can make a remote control just with the microcontroller and an antenna or a cable connected to a pin.
Mhm.
It's something, a curiosity. So what happened with Leroy?
He had to go to a grandchild's recital.
Thinking. Okay.
Vicente, you went out of focus all of a sudden. Yeah, oh, that's much better.
This is because I am putting stuff close to the camera, and
Yeah.
so this is a lot of things are going on here. I also bought this PS2 controller, Bluetooth controller for gaming. I think is a Bluetooth remote. I'm planning to connect this Bluetooth remote directly to the ESP32 that has Bluetooth also. But I need to do some hacking of the MAC address of the device or something, because it's designed to work with the PS2 station of the game console. So you need to go inside and change the MAC address of it to work with the ESP32. But this is to control robots. using just this controller. It's
So
cheap.
how do you change the MAC address?
There
Is
is an app.
is
There
it
is
in-
an app in the web. There is an app, and you have a USB. You have a USB connector. Someone find a way of do it. So I need to. I already download the app, but I need to plug in the control and do the change. But I was looking for it a week ago, and now the remote arrives, but I am doing something else, so this go to the shelf. Next time I'll use it. It happens a lot.
I can't count how much stuff I bought, and by the time it shows up, I forgot
Yeah,
why I bought
you
it.
are in another thing, another stuff. This happens, but it's okay.
Well, I'm always suckered in. If you spend another $2.15, you'll get free shipping. But there aren't any items for $2.15.
Mhm. It's like, anyway, I have enough projects for another life.
Yes, don't we all?
But that's good. That's a good thing. Oh my God.
And then on top of the projects that I'm working on, Julie says, I would really like it if, and priorities change when she says that.
I may visit some projects, all projects, using ChatGPT to make a review of the code or whatever and solve problems, because it's amazing how fast it is, you know? It's amazing. I mean, I in a second you can pass I don't know 200 lines of code, and in a second it suggests you the change and what's wrong and what's fine. And sometimes you can ask, oh, can you make it faster? Or can you use this or that? Ah, okay, no problem. And instantly change the code, the suggestion. It's, it's crazy. It's crazy, completely crazy. And sometimes the ChatGPT tells you, oh, this is a good idea. I'll do it. And immediately you have the change, you know? It's, it's crazy, crazy. Try to do something, whatever you want, maybe a woodworking project, whatever. You ask ChatGPT, and it tells you, okay, let's do this in this order. First, find whatever, and show you whatever you have solution for whatever you want to do with ChatGPT. It's amazing. It's amazing. You can ask whatever. If you subscribe, I didn't subscribe, but if you subscribe, you have real-time answers. I mean, you can ask for the weather, you can ask for events close to your house, you can ask for news about whatever. But if you stay out of subscription, you only have data before to 2024. A year old data, you know. But for programming and C++ code, this is enough for me, you know. Nothing new in the last year in whatever I am doing. But it's really, really interesting. Now, instead of spend time trying to do any code, any program, you spend time thinking on what do you want and what for, you know, so you don't lose time working and fighting with specific stuff. You just think, what do you want, and how do you want it, and you learn how to make questions instead of do things, It's something completely new. I felt like I have a team of engineers working. I asked them, okay, how we do this? But instead of wait for several hours or days, ChatGPT gives you the answer instantly. It's crazy. It's crazy. I will
You
try
have better
to you. Huh?
you have better luck with it than I do. Every time
Uh,
I've ever asked a question, how do I do X? I
uh-huh.
get this long thing that doesn't work, and I try it, and I say it failed at this point, and it adds on, and it failed at this point and this point, and it just gets worse. I'll give it
Well,
another try.
I was talking to my son after that, after this experience, and he told me that he's doing it lately, and he deploy a application or whatever in hours instead of years. You just need what to ask, what to specifically solve. General questions are more hard, but I can ask specific questions. Let me show. Uh, for example, I say I have this microcontroller. I want to do this, but I want to do it as fast as possible. And ChatGPT give me a sketch, initial sketch. I check and I say, okay, avoid using this Arduino procedures. I need something faster. Okay, change everything and use direct port control in each line, avoiding Arduino things. And then I say, okay, can you change this, for example, uh, case pack of statements for a table? Oh, yes. And he'd say, oh, it's a good idea. Will be way faster and produce the code with a table instead of the cases thing. And you need to know what you want exactly, but in a very atomic way. But it works really fast. Okay. Then I say, okay, I need to be this thing become a library for Arduino. Okay, this 1 second later, the library. I just in my program I just call include, and I have the functionality. It's crazy. It's crazy. So it's fast. So you need to. Well, I need to continue exploring another problems, but I was amazed by the speed and the precision. And I like the way it produced code. It's very like the way I like it. I used to comment and comment the code myself. So I felt like I working with myself, but hyper speed. I like it. I don't know. Maybe I will try to do some apps for the Raspberry Pi to control the robot. I will use ChatGPT, and next week I will share my experience doing that. Uh, I bought a Raspberry Pi 5 with 8 mega RAM.
Mhm.
There are two, four. They released the two mega this week, I think, to have a cheaper option. But they usually have 4, 8, and 16 meg, right?
Yes.
So I bought the 8 meg with the case and the blower and everything for 100 something in Amazon. I can share the product. I don't know if it was a good choice, but
Vincente, you were talking about having Chat GPT
Yeah.
solutions for you. And Steve said he hadn't had very much luck. I have a hinge here for a
Uh-huh.
cabinet door,
Yeah.
and I
That's my
need,
problem. That's my problem also. So there are so many
yeah,
models that it's crazy trying to find your own, you know?
it
Yeah.
has a socket
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
5 millimeters.
But the distances, the
It
behavior
has
is everything.
overlay
Yeah.
to measure depending on the door and the
Yeah,
cabinet,
yeah, 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 yeah.
and
I
whether
understand
there's a
completely.
face frame that
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
attached to. So I go in and say, I need a hinge, 35 millimeters, one
No, but
half
this is,
inch overlay for a face frame.
mhm. No, it's crazy. I try
And
to do it.
I get tires for somebody's truck in Philadelphia.
Look,
What?
I bought in Amazon, I bought like a dozen of them, and none of them fit my cabinets, you know? It's too much distances and adjustments and deep and whatever. It's crazy. It's crazy, completely crazy. Let me show my purchase in Amazon of the Raspberry Pi 5. And let me know if you find a way to figure out. You can go to, well, the best place maybe, what's the name of, it's not Home Depot, it's not
Lowe's.
Lowe's, it's the other one.
So you got Lowe's, Home Depot, and what's the third one? Uh,
Menards.
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 Menards has a huge section with those things.
Okay, hold on. Mike, take that hinge into Woodcraft in Tri-County and
Uh-huh.
hand it to one of them and say, I need more of these.
Okay.
And they'll get you what you need.
Yeah.
You could do
Okay.
that, but
So you ask to a person about it. Okay.
I,
But
I need two sets of hinges. One set of hinges from Home Depot with a half inch overlay, a face frame cabinet. It's $13.80. I got on the internet and found I could order a 3/8 inch overlay set, a half inch overlay set from two different places, arriving within 6 days for $6.50 for the pair.
okay.
Yeah, it is convenient to go in and find somebody who knows what the hell they're doing and say,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
give me one of these.
Definitely, yes. But these people, there are no people that knows about it in Home Depot or Lowe's. No.
They're lucky to know what aisle the tools are in.
Yeah.
And it's not their fault.
Sometimes I ask for something, and after a while, I am surrounded for four people talking each other, trying to figure out what and where. Okay, thank you. I do it myself. Go around and find the stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Let me share the. This is the Raspberry Pi. I don't know if it was a good choice, but whatever. It's a
Oof,
it's
$100.
a box. This is a gig. I have the power supply and all the connectors, so I'm planning to use it with a remote session, my computer using the BNC session. This is the how it looks. It's plastic. I like plastic because I'm moving a lot of wires around my table, so better plastic.
And it comes with a screwdriver.
Yeah, I have a dozen of those. They may cost it's
That's
really, really
$8
bad.
there.
There's an old Far Side cartoon where it shows a classroom of people at desks, and they're all bent over taking notes and writing. And the guy at the front who's doing the lecture has on the screen a picture of a straight slot screwdriver and the head of a straight slot screw. And he's pointing to it with his pointer as to how you engage the straight slot screwdriver into the straight slot screw. And all of these people are taking furious notes about it. I've run across those people. They do exist.
Yep.
And many of them are in government.
Oh, really?
Oh my God. So that's it. I was busy. I bought filters for air conditioning. I need to install tomorrow then.
Well, you're talking about how quickly that revised the code and such. I read Scientific American for, I don't know, several decades. And there was an article in there that I recall, but I haven't been able to put my sights on it again. A gentleman who was going through and trying to calculate all of the bodies in the solar system. So he had the Earth and the Sun. And he put in the gravitational constant and was going to solve this equation. But it wasn't just that simple equation. He also had the moon and the Earth, and the moon and the sun. And he also had Mars and Mercury and Venus and all the planets and all the moons. Well, as you can imagine, if you start taking the moons of Jupiter interacting with the moon on Earth, and then all of the moons on Jupiter interacting with each other, you get a huge number of equations. So he started in, after he had written all these out, trying to reduce this so that he could derive the values of the masses of the objects. And around the 29th year that he was working on this, they had a picture in Scientific American of his equations, and he'd do one line at a time. And they had the date that he made the error. And it was a simple arithmetic error where, I don't know, something like 6 and 3, and he put down 8. Okay. And he spent another 20 years on that, only to come up with the wrong answer.
Wow. Crazy.
Is commonly used now to test out the speed of algorithms for solving equations. And
You
it's,
can produce errors faster.
yeah,
several errors per second.
You know, is it a quarter of a second or is it 3/8 of a second? So when I taught a mathematics class, I tried to convey to my students that it didn't matter how damn fast you were if you got the wrong answer. Yeah. If you have the wrong answer, it doesn't matter whether it's Chat GPT or the slide or whatever.
Yeah, but if you have a way of testing the answer,
Yep.
as soon as you have the wrong answer, to test it better, you know. You have an answer, test it, it doesn't work. I need another answer, test it. That's
When I was in school, we had one test that had a single circuit, and it was, what's the voltage at this point? What's the voltage at this point? What's the frequency here? It was an AM radio or something, I don't remember. Had a 12-volt power supply. And the first component was a short through an 8.1 volt Zener diode. So everybody in class did all the math at 12 volts. Everybody was wrong.
yeah. It's like those exams that you say, read all the questions
at the
before
moment,
start
yeah.
start answering.
We'll be out in a
because
moment.
the last question is don't do anything.
Yeah.
And you spend all the time working. Yeah.
We have folks
Wes,
that want to come in.
I was fighting last night with a buzzer, trying to drive a buzzer with the Arduino, and it sounds very very low. You can hear it. I have like a drawer with 4 kind of buzzers, you know, and none of them works. And I changed the circuit several times and doesn't work. So I went to AliExpress to check what those buzzers was, because I bought them 4 years ago. I find out that all the buzzers were active, and I was trying to drive them as a passive. I trying to drive them with frequency, but they only works with on-off signals to buzzer by themselves, you know. I was crazy trying to figure out what's going on. I had to go to AliExpress to check the description of them. All of them are active buzzers. So I don't have a single one passive. So I couldn't make it works. Yes.
Okay, I got folks trying to come in. We got to call it.
Okay. Next
Thank you all
week
for
will
coming.
be
Next week we're virtual?
virtual,
Yes.
I think.
Okay.
Rest of
Thank
the
you so
year.
much. Thank you, Steve. Thank you for being there. Well,
My pleasure. Apologies for getting here late.
yeah. No, I was later than you. So it's okay. Thank you so much.
Didn't have to
See you next week.
cross to get here.
Good night.
I hope
folks.
you find your hingle for the kitchen cabinet. Mike,
So long.
bye.
Take care.
Everyone.
Take care.
Bye.
See you next week.
Next week.